budget. I want a longer cord for this one too. It doesn't give me no flexibility.
There is a longer cord.
Oh, there is?
But it's a much longer cord. It's the one you see the cord that Alex on.
Is he using it? Oh,
He's doing it right now. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But there is a longer. I think I do have a second longer cord.
Future references. I'm not a member of the crew, so I'm not responsible for actually exchanging the cords.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. Of course not.
Remember, I'm the talent, bro.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
So
Yeah.
The artist.
Oh.
I'm the artist, all right?
Oh. I know. I know. Fucking artists. Don't let me go on my rant about artists. But yo, that's how
What you got against artists, bro? They create the world that you're living in. Everything you see is art, baby.
Yeah, and if it was done on their time, nigga, we'd still be in BC.
Yeah, for
Exactly.
real.
Exactly. But you liberals want to rush shit. Instead of taking your time, y'all want it all now. Yo.
What's it called?
Shit.
Fuck, what was I gonna say?
Something about your artist rant.
No, it wasn't that. It was exactly that. Me like I'm trying not to swear as much.
Oh,
You know what I
better
mean?
yourself. Think you're better than us.
Yeah,
You
like
get this, Alec?
nah.
Think it's better than us.
Yeah, they switch up on you and shit.
You see
don't
how
wanna
they,
use his
you see
word.
how they switch up? You see how they switch up? They get a little.
I think Chucky got to check it. He didn't tell us. Yo. Check got to check. Check got to check. Now the man's telling him what to do. This is how it works. This is how it works.
Yo, number one, no. Number two, I want y'all to understand. Yo, I'm selling out as soon as I can.
You better. You wouldn't be my brother if you didn't.
As soon as I can. Wait, what?
Listen.
What?
Listen, Mock is hot right now.
Yo,
Hot for sellouts.
listen.
Top dollar.
I'm with it. 100%. What you
Ernest
want?
Flat. Yep.
What you
Flat,
want? Me
yep.
get on Twitter, MAGA this, MAGA that. You know what I mean? Yo, it pays to be a black. Yo, to
Oh.
be a black conservative. Yo, it pays, bro. The check clears.
It wasn't a book that she wrote. Candace Owens. She put out some type of media pro. I don't know if it was a book or something along those lines. And I was just reading about like the money that basically people like her generate, just people who talk in general, who
Yeah.
get paid to talk,
Yep.
whether you're liberal, conservative, or whatever. And in the article I was reading, it mentioned just that like it's all about like any field, right? What's your niche and what makes you unique? And to be a black conservative Trump supporter in America today,
Yo.
you are securing that bag.
Yo. What is it? Diamond and Silk?
Dominant Silk,
They ain't
the
never
Hodge twins.
they ain't never missing. They ain't never missing a hair appointment.
Never again.
You know what I mean?
Never again.
It,
They wear wigs.
yeah.
Shit.
It
Still ain't
pays,
missing that
man.
hair appointment.
It pays, man.
Yeah,
like, and
yeah.
I'm like, I'm almost there. I'm almost there. Everybody has a price.
Everybody
alright?
has a price.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you this right now. I got my wits about me, but let Trump get reelected. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. I'm not doing this anymore. Like, we're losing. We're losing. I'm trying to get on the winning team. I'm trying to get on the winning. Yo, all lives matter. Yo, respect the blue. You know what I mean? Like, I'm with it, nigga. I'm with it. Like, you only have so much.
Yeah.
Being black is hard, man.
Listen, man.
It's hard.
It's one of those. What's the name of the? I always call him, but I always forget his name. Baldwin, James Baldwin.
Mm-hmm.
What's the quote for him?
Yeah, like to be. I apologize for butchering this,
Yeah.
but it's like to be like aware and black is to be in a constant rage. It's something like that. Alex gonna
Look it up. Yeah, I'll look that up for him because
You know what I mean?
the whole black rage thing. I'll be honest with you, it never really hit me till about 2 years ago. I want to say when I was about, because I'm gonna be 35 this week. My birthday's coming up, right? And I'm gonna
Happy
be turning
birthday.
35.
Well, hopefully,
man.
when's your
If I
birthday?
make it.
What day is it on? If you make it.
If the Lord see fit. If the Lord see fit,
If the Lord see fit.
I'll make it a 35 this
Yo,
week.
what day is your birthday on?
This year falls on a Sunday.
Oh, so it's this upcoming Sunday?
This upcoming Sunday.
Oh, so this will be the podcast that comes out.
Oh,
Like
right.
after that, this will be after your birthday.
Speaking of podcasts, what episode number are we on now?
13? 12? 12. Is this episode 12 or 13?
I thought it was episode 11.
Nah, 11. I know we passed 11.
Okay, so it must be episode 12.
I think we're episode 13.
You people out there watching, you tell us.
Y'all know what? Yeah. Like, come on, man. Don't make us do all the heavy
Straight
lifting.
up.
We
Straight
got to
up.
remember numbers in sequential order and shit.
real.
Yeah, we're on 12, I'm pretty sure.
Well, yeah, episode 12.
I found the quote too. I think I did. So it says, to be a Negro in this country and to be relatively conscious is to be in a rage almost all the time.
Yes.
Yo.
Yes. To be. Can you read that again?
Yeah.
Because word for word there.
To be a Negro in this country and to be relatively conscious.
Relatively. Like, you don't even have to be all the way woke. You don't have to be relatively, bro. Relative to the rest of the fucking to the rest of the world, the rest of the yeah.
Yeah, just relative. And you know why? For me, it was when I was 33 a couple of years ago when it started to kick in. Right around the time I got my real estate license. The education I've gotten in real estate over the past couple of years has awoken me to so much bullshit in our society, just aside from race. I'm talking just aside from just the business of real estate, how it gets done, how banks conduct themselves, how title companies, attorneys, everyone who's in the real estate business, from the builder to the realtor to the bank that finances all of it. They have a lot of atonement that's going to have to take place.
Yeah.
A lot of atonement that's in this country, that they've done this country a disservice. They've done people of color a major disservice.
Because racism, period, is the big, like, outside of just like how bad it is. Racism is bad and all these.
Yeah.
Racism is a huge disservice. Like,
Huge to everyone involved.
Like, could you imagine
Everyone involved.
Like the utopia that we believe that America could be, or and all these things. The biggest thing in our way is racism. If we actually had, because if you want to be capitalist, if you want the true, full-on capitalist America, isn't it best for capitalism if everyone, you get to have the best of the best? And the only way to get the best of the best is if everyone gets a fair shot.
Everyone gets a fair shot.
You know, we don't know how great these mics could be, even though these are Australian mics, but like Australian company that made this, but like
These Aboriginal mics.
yeah, you know what I mean? We don't know how good things could be if black people, black, brown people actually got a fair shake.
If women got a fair shake.
Women,
got a
if
fair
women, like all these isms, classism,
these isms, all
racism,
of it.
sexism, if we eradicated that shit, we actually could get the world that we actually
we
wish
could do something
and
crazy
dream.
like, create heaven on earth.
Yeah. Oh, careful,
Just saying.
careful.
I don't feel like waiting to the afterlife to experience heaven. I think we should experience it right now. And if all we have to do is just be a little kinder to each other, at the very least, get the fuck out of other people's ways who's actually trying to do good by their lives and do good by their family and friends' lives, just at the bare minimum, just get out of the way.
Yeah.
It'll be worth it. But fuck all that.
Yeah. I mean,
Let's stick with the supremacy idea.
Yeah.
One
'Cause
person's better than the other.
Because that's been working.
It's worked out well so far.
That shit's
For
been.
everyone involved, I
Yeah.
think.
That shit.
I mean, everyone's happy, right?
True for the majority. Yeah.
I mean, it isn't like, more than 50% of the people living in this country are on antidepressants.
Yeah. Right.
Just saying.
Yo, I got
But y'all
y'all ever
it's
had poison
frustrating, man.
ivy?
No,
I don't mean to
nah.
cut y'all. I definitely feel like I got poison ivy on my arm. Sorry to digress, but I'm like, this shit's like itching me because I was like, when I was wrapping the trees, or whatever, you know how I was doing it, mad fucking. I was doing it hella immigrant, you know what I mean? I was outside with no shirt on trying to wrap lights around the tree. Like, what's wrong with me? And I definitely feel like I brushed against the tree and like that shit got on my arm. But
Got the fungus.
yeah, I got the fungus. I got the new Rona. This is about to mutate and turn into some
We
more other
gonna
shit.
be all right.
Yeah, this is gonna be. I'm
Well, you're the
patient
original
zero.
black man, dog. That melanin will handle all that.
Exactly.
Like that.
Very true. Very true.
Go outside, stand in the sun for about 2 hours. You'll be Gucci.
Very true. Very true. But yeah, man, like we just started, just whatever. Like this is episode 12. It's been a couple weeks, but since our last episode, because we gotta live a life, man. We got jobs. Like I had to go back to work, which is fine because I was going crazy a little bit.
Yeah.
Like
Stir crazy. That happened.
yeah, like in the summer, I was able to like I was trying to always find things to make myself busy because like having too much time in your own thoughts is not a good thing.
Absolutely
like,
not. Yeah.
it's not a good thing. And I understand like it got to a point where I was like, yo, I understand why people join cults. Like I understand. Like when I watched that episode like of American Horror Story when it was the American Horror Story cult shit, and it was like I only watched a couple episodes, but I saw like the first like foundational episodes because it really got to let you understand what cults are really like. And like a quote about it was like, was it American Horror Story? Or was it that documentary on Jim Jones? I think it was a Jim Jones documentary.
Okay.
If y'all don't know Jim Jones, I'm not talking about the rapper.
Shout out to Jim.
Yeah, no, I'm not
Shout
talking
out
about
to Jimmy.
Yeah, I'm not
Freaky
talking
Zeke.
about.
Oh no, we're not talking about them.
Yo, Freaky be home soon.
Freaky gonna be home soon.
No, not that Jim Jones.
Joel just came home. Welcome back, Joel.
Yeah, not We Fly High. You know what I mean? I'm talking about Jim Jones, like cult Jim Jones, mass suicide Jim Jones.
Mass suicide,
Coach-
killing, selling
yeah.
senators and
Right, cult.
private. He had the Epstein Island before Epstein.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Real cult type stuff. And the quote was like, they were like, well, how do people end up in cults? Like what kind of people are targeted and things like that? And they're like, well, I mean, think about this. Like, have you ever got to a point in life where you were just tired of like having to think for yourself? Always having to fend for yourself, always having to like make every decision in your life and the anxiety that comes with that, with making the mistakes and and having to live with those mistakes and blah, blah, blah. And it's something that everyone has felt. Well, this is something where they're trying to create these cults or communities where it's like, it's hive mind, you know, and like, we're going to strip you away of all your earthly belongings and things like that. And you're just going to work to live for the community and in this community. And quickly it turns into some cult shit or some like Midsummer shit. Like if you haven't seen Midsummer,
Yeah.
brace yourself.
Strap in, cause
Yeah,
it's wild.
yeah.
It's wild.
You went for a wild fucking ride. I'm like consciously trying to not swear as much, but it's hard.
We're gonna make it harder.
Yeah.
A lot fucking harder.
But yeah, like, and I got to that point where I'm like, yo, I'm tired of like, oh, check, what are you going to eat today? What are you going to do today? What are you going to spend your time doing? These projects. Oh, well, you finished that project. Well, let's explore how you can better that project you just did. How do you, and I'm like, yo, that gets exhausting.
I mean, I think everybody could use a cult break from time to time. Like,
Yeah.
you know, take 2 to 3 months, maybe 6 months. Go join a cult, see what it's like,
Yeah.
and get the fuck out of there if you can. But the thing about cults, though, it's like it's very true. Though it's like we all. I don't think you could really consider yourself a full-fledged adult until you reach that point of like, yo, I'm tired of thinking. I'm tired of making decisions.
Yeah.
You decide.
Yeah, you decide.
You know,
like,
it's
you
like,
tell
it's,
me.
It's like when you see those frustrated parents with their kids, like, fine, what do you want to eat?
Yeah.
You want to eat, macaroni and cheese for breakfast? Fine.
Fine, I'm done.
Fine, I'm done.
Like I'm done. Yeah, dead ass. And I feel like that's a lot of the reason why people like, even in relationships, and why like it's good to get a partner.
Yeah.
Because it's not just a partner, it's someone taking some of the decision making
Yeah.
away from
Yeah.
you as well.
Yeah.
And it's like sometimes you need that.
You
like
need that, man. You need that
yo,
outside perspective. I mean, that phrase, two minds are better than one, it's
Yeah.
a real thing.
yeah.
You know?
100%. And yeah, that's just how I was feeling. So I'm like, and like you, of course, you are like your showings, your stuff that you got to do, and it's like, and so we were like, and it was my girl's birthday, so I was gone for a lot of like the week before. So it's like,
Paying those boyfriend dues, good job.
yeah, you got to
Good
do
job.
that. You know what I mean? You got to pay homage. Shout out to you. You know who you are. Yeah. So now we back. We back, baby, and we got a lot of new things coming. We have a new intro coming from like an incredible artist that did a rendering of Jeremy and I. I posted a little bit like little stills of like the process on my IG, which should be. And I'm putting some music to it soon. I'm working with all local artists, all Black artists primarily.
Well, that's racist.
Yeah. Like
All Black artists, really? Check. You could find one white artist
Yeah.
to benefit this podcast. I mean, it isn't like the company that made all the equipment we're using ran by a bunch of white people.
Listen.
My goodness.
listen.
So racist.
I am going to I'm gonna promote this podcast as best I can without having to use I was going to use a word, but I'm not going to. Without using as much, like I'm trying to use as much black people as possible. That's it. Like everything's going to be black. You know what I'm saying?
We'll see
Black
what
faces.
Jim Crow has to say about that.
Yeah.
He
You know
always
what I
got
mean?
something to say.
Yeah. So,
Nah, straight up, I'm excited to see the finished product.
yeah.
I love
And he's
I
an
love the fact that
incredible
we're working-
artist. Like,
we're working with artists of color who have their own voice that they want to express themselves with, and anytime we get to collaborate with people like that, I think it's just a great thing.
yeah, because it's like we all want to like. I just want our platform to be a place where like we promote blackness, you know, in every single way. If it's black faces on the screen, it's black music listening to, it's black
microphones,
black microphone, exactly.
black table,
Black tables, black.
and I'm black, y'all.
And I'm back, and I'm black. Yeah, and if you're someone that's an artist and you want to do any rendering for the show, we will gladly post it on our page. We'll change the intro to your stuff for a week, for an episode or anything. So anything, or music, if you want the intro to be your music or something like that, or we'll put it up on the page. We got you. Like primarily it's black Boston. You know, the artist that did the render, that did our stuff, he's not from Boston. He's from Alabama. But
Roll Tide.
But like his stuff was incredible, and I've been following his stuff for a while. So it's like I'm really glad we were able to get connect and get that done. If y'all, it's Delinda Arts at on IG and on Twitter and all social platforms. Delinda Arts. But when this stuff goes up, there'll be links to all of that.
We'll probably have a link right here.
Yeah, exactly. We'll put, you know what I mean? We'll put his shit right there. Like, I love that shit though. Yeah. Like, that's my favorite shit to see in videos when they're like, oh, the thing will pop up right here and it's there. I'm like, yo,
that's magic. It's black magic.
Even though it's like simple editing shit, but it's like it means something to me. Yeah. It means something to me. But yeah, man. Like we back. I'm glad to be back.
Sports is back too.
Yo.
NBA's in full effect. MLB's about to wrap it up, whether they realize it or not.
Oh my god!
Isn't it funny how all this works though? Here are the two sports that I felt that okay, you should have nearly zero issues bringing your sport back. Well, the top three sports.
Yep.
Number one is golf.
Yep.
Number two is tennis.
Mm-hmm.
And the number one team sport is baseball.
Yeah.
Baseball by design practices social distancing.
Yeah.
When you're on defense, you're all spread out all over the field, more than 6 feet.
Yep.
And then when you're on offense, you're up at the only time you ever have to worry about something technically is when you're either on base with a player next to you or going up to bat because you have the umpire and the catchers right there.
Yeah.
But even that can be easily mitigated.
Right.
Like at this point, they're about to get rid of umpires. They need to get rid of them and just replace them with these damn cameras.
Right.
So let's practice this year. Okay, no umps. We're gonna use cameras. The umps are in the booth. You know, the catcher still has to be there, and then you have your batsman, right? But how Rona is spreading through the MLB right now,
because it's in the dugouts, like.
And why are you sitting in the dugouts
right
together?
That's the thing.
The stands are literally empty. Go
They're
sit
empty.
in the stands.
Like, yo, it really shows how much like a commissioner's job. A commissioner's job. Like, listen, the NBA is a contact sport. It's a contact sport. We're
literally
we're
breathing
swapping
and
sweat, all this other shit, right? They created a bubble, but even within that bubble, when they're sitting on the bench, they don't even have them sitting next to each other.
Yeah.
Which I was like, that's stupid. I'm like, why do they have them sitting next, spaced out from each other? And then once they get off the court, they dap each other up, blah, blah, blah. That's kind of stupid. That's something they should be doing in baseball. Because in the dugout is holding how many people? 20 people? Y'all could easily created a thing to sit out in the stands so y'all never have to come in contact with each other. The only thing that you ever, bare hands, should ever have to come in contact with the other players is the actual ball. Yeah. That's it. And that is so easy to manage because you can switch out a ball after every pitch.
Not just switch out a ball. I mean, damn it, just create some gloves, some bare hand gloves for the guys to use this season. Like, yo, you're not touching the ball this year. We're gonna give you some of those football gloves. Your grip will be better too, anyways. Like anything you could do to lower the contact, right? Because that's the name of the game, right? Lower contact with people to help reduce the spread of the virus.
because they're not. Yeah, and they're not bubbling them.
No,
They're not.
They're still able to go out to bars, chill out with their family.
There was pictures of Yoenis Cespedes
Yeah.
a couple days before
Cespedes, I love
he
that dude's
opted out.
last
Cespedes for the rest of this.
Cespedes for the rest of this.
Like he was out in a bar dancing with a girl a few days before he opted out and shit.
Yeah.
So it's like he's just out and about. All these players are out and about.
Yeah.
All they needed to do was do 60 games. In baseball, that's quick.
That's quick.
That's 2.5 months.
That's a third of the season that they're used to.
Yeah,
These
like-
motherfuckers play 180
63
games.
games.
63. I thought it was 180.
No, 163 games.
I always think 180 because when it's all said and done, like
Yeah, like playoffs and shit like
playoffs,
that.
you end up
Yeah.
playing like 100 if you're the
Yeah.
champion, whatever. Yeah. That's championship talk. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, that's big boy talk.
That's big boy.
Yeah.
Out here in New England, we're used to
Yeah,
these extended
That's
seasons, as you guys are all aware.
Yeah, our season's going to October, buddy.
Yes.
Uh,
I mean, our seasons never really end. It always goes from hockey to basketball. To
Yeah.
football. Y'all know. Y'all see the parade. Y'all have seen the parade.
I know what time it is.
Y'all see the parades.
You know, for
Come
real.
on, we hate y'all too. We hate y'all too.
Exactly. We'd hate us too.
We hate us too. I'd be sick if I didn't love this so much.
Yeah. Yo, sick. Sick, bro. I'd hate Boston, yo. I really would. But yeah, so the NBA season started, and I'm like, I know we talked about like the protocols and if it would work and things like that, and now we're like 2 weeks in because we recorded right before the season was about to start, and kind of now like 2 weeks in, like 4 or 5 games in, and like how do you think that things are holding up so far?
I'll be honest. I'll be 100% honest with you. Where baseball is right now, that's where I thought the NBA would be right now, because it's just such a high contact sport. You have, and you also have people who, these athletes, and particularly NBA players, because they're the most recognizable athletes in America outside of individual sports athletes. But when it comes to team sports, the most recognizable athletes are baseball players and basketball players. The number one athlete in America, though, right now is LeBron James. Right. So I say all that to bring up the fact that you have these guys who are used to being surrounded by people as well all the time. A baseball player is going to have a much easier time walking around in a mall or in a restaurant than a basketball player in America,
Yeah, 100%.
So
Mike Trout, who's probably the best player in the MLB, you wouldn't, if he walked up to you, right?
We're going to put up 3 photos of 4 white men right here.
Yeah.
Whoever picks out Mike Trout gets a free appearance on the show.
Yeah. Yes. You know what I mean? Free appearance.
Straight up. He's one of the most popular baseball players in the league, but you couldn't recognize him.
You'd be like, is that J.J. Watt?
Exactly.
Who's that, J.J. Redick?
That was very racist, by the way, Chucky.
I mean, no, he looks like
you trying to
J.J.
say
Watt.
all white men look alike, Chucky? Is that what you trying to get at?
They have the same haircut.
Wow. Okay. Nah, just messing around. But no, like, I'm pleasantly surprised that the NBA is doing such a great job with it. And I think it's just a testament to them as an organization.
Yeah.
Because right now, the way that we're looking at businesses and how they're handling the Rona right now, we got to treat these professional sports leagues the exact same way.
Yeah. Yep.
So when you have a commissioner in baseball, Rob Manfred is his name, who's trash to me.
Yeah.
I don't fuck with baseball. I'm not a hard body baseball fan. When I was a hard body baseball fan, it was like from 98 up until about like 2009, because I got introduced to the Red Sox through Pedro, and I love baseball, but I ain't on it like that.
But that's the thing.
But this dude, Rob Manfred, like, if you're someone who loves baseball or loves whatever, loves your job, Rob Manfred is the worst boss you could ever have, because he doesn't care truly about the essence of the sport. Like some of the comments he's made about the World Series and players not mattering and all this stuff. It's just like, I don't know, man. Do your research. Look it up.
Look it up.
But I don't fuck with the dude. And when I hear other players referencing him and the energy they bring towards him, I understand it completely, because he's a corporatist. He's someone who's not in this because I love the sport and I love the game. It's I love what the sport can bring
Right.
I love what the sport can do financially.
Right.
And all these players are expendable. All these coaches are everything is expendable.
And when
even this season to him was expendable.
Yeah.
If Rob
no
Manfred
bull.
had it his way,
Yo.
there would not be a baseball
Yeah,
season this year.
yeah, that's
People
the-
are like, no, we can still make money off of merchandising, all this other stuff. It doesn't even matter.
But and that's the thing, and that's the reason why, like, when it comes to like people understanding what commissioners do, it's like as a commissioner, you're supposed to bring the brand forward. You manage this entire league. You are the thing that's, and I could say Adam Silver has done an incredible job. Roger Goodell, I'm 50-50 on Roger Goodell. I think Roger Goodell has fumbled in a whole lot of ways.
Yeah.
He kind of plays both sides, kind of.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly. Like, but there's also times where I feel like Roger Goodell listens, though. Whereas in the past with like Tagliabue or other even Stern and shit like that, like they weren't good listeners. I feel like Roger Goodell has a pulse on things, but he always has to play both sides.
He has to play both sides.
So he's gonna end up looking. And he
Like
does
a two-faced guy.
Right, a two-faced guy. And I remember when somebody said it and it made me understand. It's like, yes, as Roger Goodell, you are supposed to take all of the heat and all of the bullets so the owners don't get them.
Exactly.
And that's what he's supposed to do. And when you put it like that, he's done exactly what he's supposed to do.
Yeah, he really has.
And
He really has.
because
Even-
I don't talk shit about people. Don't kill Jerry Jones or they know Jerry Jones, Robert Kraft, who's another big NFL owner name that y'all know, like generally that rolls off the tongue. You know what I mean? Other than like the Hines family, the Johnsons, that's because we know sports. But off top, the general fan, they don't know many NFL owners' names, and that's the point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what Roger Goodell is supposed to be there for. And when it comes to Manfred, the reason why you fell out of love with baseball, the sport, you still are a Red Sox fan.
Absolutely.
But before, you would watch any baseball that was on.
Yeah, I used to watch any baseball that was
Any
on.
baseball that was on because the star power
Yeah.
was so powerful when we grew up. The Mark McGuire, Sammy
my-
Sosa,
I was
Manny
just in my
Ramirez,
head. Yep.
David Ortiz,
Yep.
Pedro, fucking Randy Johnson, Clemens,
Schilling.
like dog. We could Jeter, A-Rod, dog, Vlad the Impaler. We can go on and on and on about baseball players that are coming up.
Yeah.
Now, who?
Cool.
Mike Trout.
Yeah.
Harper, who they've been trying to drill down our throats that we don't care about. Like we just don't care. And that's because of management. That's because of your commissioner and your shitty.
You guys haven't gotten with the times. You
No.
guys haven't made any adjustments. Like every sport, NBA, NFL, like you could, going into the offseason,
Barry Bonds.
next
What am I-
season is going to be different because they're going to change some rules around. Things are going to be a little different. We're
Yeah,
going to see what's
and
happening.
we're gonna promote our players.
We're going to promote our players. Baseball does none of that.
Yeah.
It's hung its hat on the whole being America's pastime thing for so long,
Yeah.
and they don't realize they're past their time now.
Yeah.
Whether it's
It was
how
an
long the
event
sport
when-
is,
There's 1 minute left.
the talent of the players now, and just again how the league itself manages its players and promotes its players. Like, how many commercials do you see baseball players in? Just general stuff, baseball players in, and is branded by the MLB. Yeah.
Yeah, like
So you don't see it that often out of baseball really promoting its brand, and particularly through its players.
no.
Because they still have the players. The players still do have the talent,
Yeah.
but you're not telling the people
But
how good the
there
players
used to be
are.
a moment when Clemens was pitching.
Yeah.
When Pedro was
Yeah.
pitching, when Randy
Pedro's
Johnson
on the
was
mound
pitching,
tonight.
when Andy
You
Pettit was
watching
pitching.
that.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
not Carlos Santana. That's the guitarist. Johan Santana,
Johan
remember?
Santana, was with the
and
Mets,
dog, and they
yeah.
had the nicknames
Yep.
and they had style. Dontrell Willis.
Yep.
They had style and flair and swag. And it was a moment like Friday night, like it was like Friday Night Baseball,
Yeah.
or you know what I mean? Like it was a moment. And now I don't give a shit about Clayton Kershaw, my G. Like I don't care about. Like, yo, remember Cliff Lee, bro?
Yeah.
Yo, I still remember that moment when Cliff Lee was mowing dudes down. And I remember there was
Untouchable, man.
untouchable. And there was a point where he was striking dudes out. And I remember it was the playoffs when he was, oh my God. I think when he was with the Phillies, when he got traded to the Phillies. And he was mowing dudes down. And he got a dude to pop up, right?
And he just
homie,
stood there.
and he stood there.
on the mound.
On the mound, he didn't move. The point popped up, and he stood there and was just like, and they just got right back in his shit. Dog, that was, goosebumps. Goosebumps of a dude. He's
Dominating the
untouchable.
game, like,
Untouchable. And that was when
You're Barry
man.
Bonds, bases loaded, you come up and they walk
and they
you.
walk in a run rather than pitch to you.
That's how excited. That's how crazy baseball could be. The type of things you'll see.
Yo.
Like, teams will concede points because they know you got it like that.
Yo.
Don't pitch to him. Pitching to him is like kicking off to who's the Bears kickoff returner? He's retired now.
The GOAT. Fuck, why can't I think of
I
his
know,
name?
I hate these moments. Brought the touchdown back in the Super Bowl.
Yes.
He'll come back to us later.
Yeah.
But pitching to Barry Bonds at one point was like kicking off to him.
Yeah, you don't.
You don't do that.
You don't.
You do not do that.
You don't. You sacrifice.
You sacrifice.
You kick that
put
shit
him
out
on
bound.
base. Oh, if we put him on base, that's
Devin
gonna-
Hester?
Devin Hester.
Devin
Yep.
Hester. You know, pitching to Barry Bonds at one point was like kicking off to Devin Hester. You
Yeah.
just do not do
Nah,
that.
don't do that.
We could lose this game over this.
Yeah, no.
Just don't do it. Put your pride away. Accept the fact that he's better than
My
you.
Jew had an
and
8.
Don't give him that
Barry Bonds had like an 800 fucking on base percentage, B. Like, either I'm getting a hit or you're
Yeah.
walking me.
Straight up.
I'm getting on base. It's like it's a foregone conclusion.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, man, like that, and it didn't have nothing to do with me being older, cause I, when I fell out of love with baseball, but still in love with the Red Sox.
Mm-hmm.
I was in my prime. We still are in our prime years of consuming baseball.
Yeah.
Because when we were younger, we didn't have no money to buy jerseys and buy tickets to games. We now, as we got older and we actually got some money, we stopped wanting to do that.
I'm broke, baby.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? I can smell a nigga with money. Yeah, so they really fumbled because they lost us.
Yeah.
You know,
I remember the first jersey I bought was a baseball jersey.
Yep.
You know, I remember thinking like, yo,
They're still
I remember,
here.
I remember like, yo, baseball jerseys are like the most fashionable jerseys.
Yeah.
And you can button them up, you can unbutton them,
Right.
or you can get the
'Cause
ones that are
in
like pullovers.
Right, there's different styles. Some have buttons, some don't,
Bro.
depending on the team. I remember I had a Minnesota Twins pullover
Yep.
in middle school that I love. I got a Ted Williams pullover right now that I just got this year because, you know, it's a Red Sox. You know what I mean? It's Ted
Shout out to
Williams.
Teddy and them.
You know what I mean? Is he still in the icebox?
His head is somewhere.
Damn. Damn. Shout out to the
Yikes.
Williams family. Hopefully, you know what I mean? But yeah, so the NBA and they just released a couple days ago, they retested everybody again and no test came back positive. So 3 weeks in, 3 or 4 weeks in, because they are almost 4 weeks because they practiced and everything, they're still negative. You know, so they did a good job of creating that bubble. And then on top of that, visually, the actual games, I don't know if y'all agree with me, it does not look different at all to me.
It looks different to me. It looks different to me, but it looks different in a better way.
Gotcha.
Like I actually like this idea of not having fans there, just from this point of view, right? I think now you get to see how these players actually play without that pressure.
Shout out to TJ Warren.
So you get
Yeah,
for real.
for
Shout out to TJ Warren for real.
Shit.
Like I don't think long term it will work that way because people want to see the fans. They like the fan reactions. That's a part of the game.
Yeah.
But I'm enjoying this moment in time where it's like, okay, once we take all the fans out of the arena and you don't have them to hype you up or to bring you down, and you can just play your real self, like you just out here balling now, like you're in the courts again, like the way you grew up playing. Let's see what happens. There weren't people watching you when you were 15, 16, 17 years old on a Saturday afternoon just hooping it up
30,000
against people,
20.
you know, versus 15, 20. How many thousands are watching you now?
Yeah.
So I really like this idea of watching players out there and seeing how they perform when there isn't that boost there.
Right.
You know, and who's the real of the real? Who
Yeah.
steps up? Who steps down? And
Who steps out.
And who steps the fuck out?
Yeah.
Straight up.
And also, like, some dude on Twitter pointed out, like, the depth perception of the hoop, too. Because, like, when you're playing in stadiums,
Yeah.
it's harder to gauge how far or how
Yes.
close the hoop is.
Right.
True.
So, because
True.
there's no fans there, it's like, it's
Exactly.
easier to shoot now.
Exactly.
Right.
And it's
Yeah.
easier to see the rim,
Exactly.
so there's
Yep.
also that, too. Like,
Exactly.
that was pretty
100%.
Exactly.
Like I'm very happy because it's like even when they did like the preseason, like the practice shit, Like, no, people had a questions like how hard would they play? No, they're playing
They're
hard.
playing hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not playing around at all.
at all.
So
At all.
the tone was set
Yeah.
from the preliminary games that we are going for it. We're not playing around. This ain't like no, we don't want to be here. Shit like if you came, you are coming to win.
Yeah.
And I felt like the people that had a question about like, oh, will this be a real championship? Will you put an asterisk on it? I think that people that wanted to put an asterisk on it, they're gonna put an asterisk on it. Period. It all depends on if your team wins or not,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
But if we ever gonna come back historically and talk about this bubble season, and hopefully this is the only one that has to happen, no one is gonna be able to say like, oh, people didn't have their hearts in it. It wasn't a real season. Like, they're going
They were
in.
hooping.
They're
They were hooping
hooping
out there.
So
Ain't no defense being played.
yeah, that's another thing.
Yes,
They said, like I saw yesterday about like, yo, the averages of scoring has gone up, you know? And I don't know whether that's
But remember though, that I think that's a part of the NBA design as well. Though the NBA doesn't like defense. They won't do anything to the point where they'll stop you from playing defense, of course. But anytime you see rule changes, it's typically to the benefit of an offensive player, whether it's the hand checking, the 3-second defensive in the lane calls, how often and how frequency you see those ticky-tack foul calls. Like ticky-tack foul calls is like that came over with the European player who brought the flop in the Euro stuff, right? Then we started seeing more ticky-tack calls because they want to see their offensive. People are not tuning into these games to watch how strong your defense is like they will for a football game, right? And basketball, they want to see threes.
Yeah.
They want to see that ball going to the basket as often as possible.
Yeah, and no, it's just that's true. It's just interesting to see. It's one thing if it's like season to season to season. You know what I mean? That could gradual progression, but it's interesting to see how out of the bubble this season and then in the bubble this season, the numbers have gone up.
Yeah.
Like and people think like an extra 10 points a game, that's big.
That's huge.
The difference between the number one defense and the last defense in the league is the difference of like averaging giving up like 7 points a game. So if teams are now scoring 10 points more than their average, that's
huge.
That's
it's a game
huge.
changer.
You know,
It really is.
And I wonder
a whole new season.
Yeah, like I wonder what it is. Is it just people they're not playing as hard defense because they're just waiting for the playoffs? Because that also happens too, like end of the season type thing. But there's a lot at stake. I feel like along in this bubble, I've never seen more teams in the playoff hunt than this season. But I think it has a lot to do with what we thought going into the season of how it was so even. There wasn't a clear-cut favorite. Like every team, from the worst team in the league to the best team in the league, like it could be competitive.
Yeah.
Every game
That
could
worst
have been
team in the league,
competitive.
and that worst team in the league is literally not even a whole player away, maybe a half a player.
Player away from being in the
they're one
playoffs.
player that's on their team just stepping up a little bit to being in the playoffs and making a real threat,
Yeah.
making a real run.
Like, look at who's fighting for the playoffs in the West. And this is the first year I've seen in a long time that the 7th, 8th seeds in the West are going to be under 500. Like, what does that tell you about how things have shifted? Whereas you got, like, Portland, New Orleans, you just got eliminated
Shout out
last
to Dame
night.
Dollar.
Shout out
Nothing
to
but
Dame
respect,
Dollar.
Dame. Don't come for me, bro.
Yo.
Don't come for me. I'm with you, bro. Straight up. The news is wilding out there. Dame's about to do some things. Dame's going to do some things in this bubble. Y'all are not ready for Dame.
Dog,
I'm
that's
telling
what I'm
y'all, boy.
Yo, when people said like, "Yo, real talk," it's all a plot, bro. It's a plot to get, all the teams are plotting to get the Blazers the 8th seed, so they go up against LA in the first round. Like, I'll lose if I'm the Clippers. I'll lose to get them into the 8th seed, but not the 7th. You know what I mean? You got to play that. But it's like, I think the Blazers are going to give LA big problems, and mainly to just Dame. I knew, listen, when Dame came out and murdered the Lakers of the first day that they came back after playing after Kobe died, that's what I knew Dame was. I knew Dame was a problem. He's a
Dame Dollar.
menace. But I didn't know Dame had no conscience. You know what I mean?
The boys from Oakland.
I mean, was it before Kobe died when he went on that stretch of averaging like 40 or something?
Yeah, before Kobe died, and then after, I think he continued it. I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because know what it is about Dame? It's he don't talk.
Yeah.
And if you know anything about anybody in life, those who do not talk are not the ones you mess with.
Yeah, you don't fuck around.
The most you ever get out of Dame is after he dirties you. He gives you the Dame time.
Yeah.
He waves bye-bye.
Yeah, yep.
And that's it. You don't hear him in the media making quotes or on Twitter posting stuff about other players. No. But when you have Pat Beverly and PG-13, and PG-13 got no business talking to nobody. Talk about getting people up out of playoffs when he done gone bounced how many times.
Yo,
we
PG
all saw
gotta
what happened to
chill.
you last year, fam.
PG got to chill.
Gotta chill. You just gotta. Yeah,
Yo,
you have some
try and win
surgeries.
this-
I get it.
Try and win this championship this
Yep.
year, then you can talk your talk.
Maybe.
But we've seen a lot. There's been a lot of bad clips, PG.
Yep.
I don't think any but the fucked up thing about it is that like you get sacrificed for playing defense in the
Exactly.
NBA. Like
Exactly.
if you play D, there are gonna be clips of you getting dunked on.
Yeah.
There's gonna be clips of you getting crossed up. There's gonna and that's
Clips of people hitting buzzer beater.
Right, you're not gonna Dame like. Now I'm not trying to shit on Dame's defense, but Dame isn't the best defender.
Absolutely
So
not.
you're not gonna
Especially
get
at his
Dame.
position.
He's
Yeah.
not gonna be up on you to get
Yeah.
crossed up. He's not gonna try and block a dunk
Yeah.
to get dunked on. But Embiid is gonna get dunked on. Giannis is gonna get dunked
Mm-hmm.
on. PG is gonna get crossed up. He's gonna get a game winner hit over him because he's their primary defender. So that's just gonna happen. So I understand. So I don't really put that on PG. It just happens because you're a defender. But it sucks that it continues to happen to him, no matter what jersey he's in. You can go back to Indiana, OKC, and now you got Jason Tatum dirtying him.
So what Booker did with the Suns?
What Booker just did
did
for a
this
game
week?
winner.
Like, bro.
The worst one ever. Fuck the Dame one, which was really bad. It got you out of the circumstances were bad. But that one that James Harden did when he made PG crash into Beverly.
Yes.
Was it Beverly?
Yes.
They crashed together
Wow.
like it was a football
Yeah.
like folly
Yeah.
type
Yeah.
blooper.
Yep.
And he buried a three.
Buried
like
a three.
that was probably one of the worst shits I've ever seen in my life. But it's like that's what happens when you play D. Like
Play D.
you playing D against name all the people that we named that he did against. James Harden, Dame Lillard, one of the biggest killers the NBA's ever seen. So so I mean it is what it is.
Pat
but
Beverly got to chill, man. We all saw what Dame did to you in his second season too, man.
Yeah.
Pat, I love you. Pat, I love you. You know I do. You know I do, but
No, I do.
stop it.
But
Stop it. Y'all ain't won nothing yet, man.
so
Y'all ain't won nothing.
So what do you think of? How do you feel? We're like 4 or 5 games in. The Celtics beat Orlando last night, coming through clutch. How do you feel? How do y'all feel about the Celtics season so far? Like how we've come back.
You want to go first, Al?
Yeah, so I think we look pretty good. Like, I think we played Orlando last night. Who was that team but the team that we played before Orlando?
Toronto.
Was it Toronto?
Yeah, we waxed Toronto.
waxed Toronto.
Yeah.
We waxed Brooklyn. We lost to Miami. We beat who was before Miami?
That was the first game we came back and we lost. We're like 3-2 right now in the bubble, right?
Yeah, we lost to Miami. And then we lost to
the
Milwaukee.
Bucks.
We lost to Milwaukee, but there was somebody in
It was
between Milwaukee and Miami that we won. We beat them.
I can't remember who, but no, we look good though. I think. But the only thing I'm nervous about is Gordon saying that he might leave.
Right.
Not might. He is.
Oh, yeah, he
because
is
when
gonna
his son comes in, I'm a little nervous about it, but I think it's gonna be fine. I mean, he's traveling up to Boston. He's traveling from the NBA bubble to a state where we have like the lowest rate of stuff. He's gonna be practice his precautions and everything. I think it ain't gonna be like Lou Williams going out to get some chicken at freaking at not the Cadillac Lounge. Shout out to Miami Cadillac Lounge. I miss y'all.
Yo, shout out to
It ain't like he's getting the chicken when he's at Magic City in Atlanta.
it was the
you know?
it was the Blazers.
Okay.
We beat the Blazers.
Okay. So it was Milwaukee. We lost. Beat the Blazers.
Lost to the Heat.
Lost the Heat.
Cracked the Nets.
Cracked
Cracked
the
the Raptors.
Raptors.
Beat Magic.
Beat the Mavs. So we're like 4-2 right now.
4-2.
4-2. Yeah. I think so. You can finish. Your
No,
point.
that was
it.
everything.
Okay.
pretty much.
No, I feel good about this bubble and everything. I'm looking at the bubble like it's not like it's the preseason, but since I know our playoff seeding is pretty much locked in, it's just a question of who we're gonna play. I'll admit I was a little nervous about playing Philly in that first round just due to matchups. I don't like our matchup against Ben Simmons. I don't like how we match up against him.
We're not gonna
But we ain't got to worry about him.
Yeah, we ain't gonna worry about him.
And I'm
See ya.
waiting
Nah.
for and I'm waiting for the news to hit. We ain't got to worry about Embiid either.
Yeah.
And then before you know it, the Sixers slipped to the 8th seed, and now we're probably playing somebody else.
Yeah.
The
I think
one
the Sixers, yeah, because they're behind us.
Yeah, the Sixers are currently the 6th seed. If the season ended today, we'll play the Sixers in the first round. Sixers are the 6.
Gotcha.
It's us at the 3, Miami at the 4, Pacers at the 5, Sixers at the 6, 7 and 8 don't matter.
Yeah. It's Milwaukee, Toronto, Boston, Miami, Indiana, Philly, Brooklyn, Orlando.
Yeah.
Right now. And that's what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Because Washington can't
No.
it's pretty locked in right now. So
So we're looking at a
against
first
Philly.
round matchup against Philly. We should wax them, get them out of here in 4,
Second,
5 maybe, if we want to be stupid.
Yeah, second round we'd probably go up against Toronto. And I feel
That should
like
be a 5 game. That should be a gentleman's sweep as well.
I feel like we should wax Toronto. I feel like the way that we played against Toronto this last time, fully healthy, we should wax Toronto.
Yeah.
They do not have enough bona fide scorers. They play great. They're coached
Especially
great.
on defense, and they're coached great. Yep.
Right. But they can beat a lot of other teams. I'm not saying Toronto's great. They earned that 2 seed. But going up against a team like the Celtics that have as many wings that we have and enough and as many bona fide scorers, they can't keep up with that. Siakam is still learning.
Yeah. Yeah.
And other than that, the thing that keeps them in games is they have a great coach and they're a great coach team and they're a championship team.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't
Never
like,
underestimate the heart of a champion.
yeah,
bro.
like they're champions. I'm not one of them people that discount them as no. They lost Kawhi, but they still were a really good team before, and they're a great team now. And great teams get a lot of motherfuckers up out of here.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So but they're gonna have to go up. They're gonna have to go against Brooklyn, and that's gonna be a sweep because Brooklyn just doesn't have anything. I'm shocked that Brooklyn.
Yeah, Brooklyn fired their coach too.
Yeah.
Right before,
Yeah. Which I didn't even think they should have fired him.
They shouldn't have.
But from what they say, I'm like, the coach now is a really great coach. So
Well, I'm sure Boston sports media found a way to blame Kyrie for that.
yeah, they
as
gotta
well.
blame. Yeah. Jackie McMullen probably got.
what's Jackie McMullen's article?
Yeah, she probably got a call.
Kyrie cost another good white man his job.
His job. Yeah. So, I really see us. I easily see us in the conference finals against Milwaukee, and I feel like with us with us putting Robert Williams back, like giving him minutes, which I was championing for so long, and he's gotten heavy minutes for the past 3 games, and you see the way he's able to move on the defensive end, and then offensively, we need someone that could get those alley-oops in those pick and roll moments, and then we have Tice for pick and pops, and then we have Cantor to battle down low for offensive boards to keep things alive. Literally, if we find a way we don't have to stop Giannis. We have to stop everybody else. Giannis can,
Which is very doable.
Yeah, which is very doable. And I'm glad. I hope to see Eric Bledsoe more.
Yeah, for real.
Because the last game he didn't play, and we almost won that. We should have won that game because Giannis
Had 2 offensive fouls.
had 8 fouls, had 7 fouls, but he got to stay in the game. I've never in my life seen a foul call and then a foul taken back. I've never. But you can't play defense against Giannis. Or you can't try to stop him in any way.
And again, that's part of that is I don't want to take too much credit away from Giannis because Giannis is that dude.
He is that dude.
But I feel the same way that dudes felt about Shaq back in the day. Like, yo, refs, he don't need your help, bro.
Yeah, he don't.
We're the ones who need your help.
Yeah.
So when he's out here bombarding his way through the lane, just running over people, I tell you,
what James Harden said was correct. Giannis is talented. He is. But Giannis does the same thing over and over and over again. It doesn't need much skill. He lacks on his athleticism more than anything. I'm not saying that he isn't getting more skilled, but he relies on his athleticism
let's
more
be
than
real here.
anything.
Let's change nothing about Giannis, but let's give him the athleticism. Let's say of another big man. Let's give him the athleticism of Jokic. Or the athleticism of Porzingis.
Which is, Jokic is.
Well, that's what I say. That's why I said
nothing.
Porzingis instead.
Yeah.
But it's like that's what it is. It's like you have the height and you're fast.
And he has the physique.
You have the physique and you have the athleticism when you're in the air, so you can maneuver around people. Yeah. You know, it doesn't take that much, but you can still do it. So yeah, shout out to James for making that point.
Yeah, and I feel like if we're able to, and that's why I want Bledsoe to play, because that's another person that's more ball dominant, that's gonna stop rotation.
Exactly.
He's gonna stop the ball. I don't like when the Bucks are moving the ball. I don't like that, because they're moving it from Lopez to Middleton to DiVincenzo to Matthews. I don't need that. I need Eric Bledsoe, who's gonna take at least 10 to 12 shots a game. That's 10 to 12 shots that aren't going to everybody else.
Yep, and 10 to 12 seconds off that shot clock.
Right.
Off every possession.
Exactly. And God damn, the Bucks are crazy for giving him that contract. So I want to see Eric Bledsoe in there, and that also gets DiVincenzo off less minutes as well. So, and you got Kyle Korver. Oh, they got shooters. So it's like, if we can get Giannis to have the ball and Eric Bledsoe to have the ball a lot, we are going to win. And that's my predict. Like we talked about like before the playoff starts, like we can get our predictions out. Like I have the Celtics and Clippers in the finals. Who do you have in the finals?
In the finals, I have Celtics versus Clippers / Houston Rockets.
Rockets. Who do you have?
I'll probably say Celtics and Clippers.
Yeah.
Probably.
I agree because I do not believe in the Lakers at all.
I don't either. I don't. Their offenses too. We're seeing what happens once again and again, this isn't to knock LeBron, but we know how LeBron teams are. They're LeBron dominant. They're LeBron heavy. Yeah. You know, it is what it is, right? But when he goes to the bench now, that Lakers team, they don't have a real good system in terms of getting consistent buckets. Even when he's on the bench and you have AD out there, which is usually how they usually split it up, right? Like they'll play the first 8 to 10 minutes the first quarter together, then they're separated into the last 5 minutes of the fourth, subbing in and out. And even when AD's on the court, it's just like, bro, it goes back to coaching. Who's their coach? Frank Vogel?
Frank Vogel. Yeah.
Let's go back to coaching, man. It's like, bro, you got to do better.
Those rotations
You got
are
too
trash.
much talent on that team. And I know Rondo's out. And
Kuzma's trash.
Kuzma's trash. But even Kuzma, it's like, bro, someone like Kuzma, he's still a talent. You need
Kuzma should be better.
Yeah, he should be better. And if he's not better, there's only so much he can do. What are you doing as a coach to make someone like Kyle Kuzma a true third option on your team? Because here's the thing about the Lakers. You have LeBron, you have your AD. Those are your top two options. Who's your third option? Dion Waiters?
J.R. Smith, baby.
Morris Sr.? Stop it. It needs, if it's not Kyle Kuzma on this current roster, you ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
You need 3.
Yeah.
You need 3 to get out the West.
Yeah, you do.
You need 3.
You absolutely do. And I don't see them getting out of the West. And I'm telling you, people that keep sleeping on Houston, I'm telling you, telling you, that Houston team, all of them can shoot.
And all of them can shoot.
All of them, they don't have a lot. They don't have bigs.
Off the dribble, too.
But
not just catch and shoot.
Yeah, they don't have bigs, but they're big, though.
Yeah.
Their shooting guards and small forwards are not small guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And in this era, in this day and age, you do not need, what big are they afraid of seeing in the playoffs?
Exactly.
AD, who doesn't play in the post like that.
Exactly. He'll tell himself, I'm not a center.
I'm not a center. Who does not want to be a center.
Bye-bye.
And who's you think the Lakers are going to be running them off these 3-point dog?
Run them off their 3 so they're going to the lane when no one's there for an easy layup?
Yo, I pray that the Lakers have to see, and that's the way that it, hold on, let me look at the thing. I wish that the Lakers have to see the Blazers and then have to see
try to get them
Houston.
Try to get them up out of here quick.
Yeah, Houston in the second round. Right now it's LA, Lakers, Clippers, Nuggets, Rockets, Thunder, Jazz, Mavericks, and then the 8th seed is between Memphis has it right now, but it's probably gonna be Portland.
It's gonna be Portland. It's gonna end up being the playoff thing. The Portland's gonna come out of that.
So Portland. So all things go. Let's say that the Lakers come out and beat Portland in the first round. That means that they're gonna have to go up against Houston in the second round because the Houston's the fourth seed.
Yo,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man.
And
I
after
wouldn't be
that, you
surprised
have
if we
to
saw
see
a gentleman sweep.
And after that, you have to see if you get through Houston, you have to get through
Kawhi.
the Clippers. Yo, if I'm the Lakers, I'm like, y'all celebrating this one seed?
Gotta get the fuck out of here.
Because look at the Clippers. The Clippers will have to go up against Dallas, and then not if and then after Dallas have to go up against Denver. Those I'm not saying those are any slacks. I'm not saying that.
Especially Denver.
But the teams that the Lakers have to go up against have MVPs on them.
MVPs.
Have top players, top five
Yep.
players in the league on them. And it's not like the Bucks where it's top 5 players and then they have no second person that's like really good.
Exactly.
Granted, I mean, shout out to Chris Middleton. I don't
Shout
want
out
to shit
to
on Chris
Briss.
Middleton. Shout out to
But
Briss
Briss
Middleton.
ain't striking fear into people's heart the way that
he's
he
not.
should be.
He's a lethal killer, but he's
Yeah.
not in it.
He's not there yet.
No, he's not there yet. And I was gonna say shout out to we shouted out to TJ Warren who's killing in the bubble, but don't get it twisted. Do not get it twisted. TJ Warren was no slack.
Never.
TJ
slack.
Warren was almost
Yeah.
averaging 20 points a
Yep.
game for the past 3 years,
Yep.
but he was doing it in Phoenix,
Yep.
and nobody gave
Nobody
a fuck.
gave a fuck.
You know what I mean? This is his first year in Indiana, and he's showing people what he can do. That Indiana team, bro, like
They're the scariest team in the playoffs right now.
Dog.
If all things aside, everyone's healthy, right?
yeah.
Who's your sleeper team in the East? Who's your sleeper team in the West that could go to the finals?
Yeah. My sleeper that could go to the finals. I don't think any of those teams are going to the finals. I don't see any sleeper going to the finals. I think of sleepers as motherfuckers that are gonna cause disruption. That are gonna mess up somebody's
Get somebody
season.
up outta here.
Yeah, get somebody up out of here that did not like
He didn't
think
deserve all that.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that
You hate to see it.
I truly think that Indiana is that team in the East because I see them in the first round. They're going up against Miami, and I can see them getting Miami up out of here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which-
First round matchup, I think that's the first. I'm very excited to see that Miami Indiana first round matchup. I think it's gonna be a real fun, interesting series.
TJ Warren, Brogdon, Oladipo's playing. In their center, their young center, and they got people coming off the bench.
Sabonis.
Sabonis, and I wasn't even thinking Sabonis. I was thinking of the other dude.
Oh, with the dreads.
Yeah.
I know you're talking about. I love him too. Love his game.
Hold on, there's 2 minutes left anyways.
Because we've gone over everything mostly. Yeah, I would say that, and on the Western Conference, I would say that the sleeper team that's gonna get somebody up out of here. Miles Turner, yes.
Yeah, the
Miles
Pacers
Turner.
center, yeah.
In the Western Conference is Portland, but I don't even think they're a sleeper. I think they're like people are scared, and they
Yeah.
should be scared if they get it.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
but yeah, what do y'all think?
My sleeper team will be the Pacers out of the East. The way Oladipo is a fucking killer.
Yeah, he is.
Oladipo
He
is
is.
that dude. It's not a game. He's for real.
Yeah.
Malcolm Brogdon, I fucking love Malcolm
Yes.
Brogdon's game.
How did the Bucks let him walk? Is nuts, and they ended up giving that money
To Bledsoe. Remember, that's a
Nuts.
whole nother conversation we could have about
Nuts.
sucker GMs and
Yeah.
stupid play,
Yep.
stupid decisions they be making. You
Yep.
know, And when we get a whole nother podcast when we get Gordon Hayward up out of here. But
How that's changed. No.
because he was hooping last night, Gordon was hooping the
was
last 2
hooping.
games. He was hooping.
Education
He was
reform was hooping.
Yeah, listen.
Education reform was
Education reform was hooping. The real talk. Listen, when I'm knocking Gordon, I'm justified at the time when I'm knocking him. I ain't knocking him after he just buried that 3. I'm knocking him after he blew that wide open layup because he's still afraid to go to the rack. Justifiably
going-
so. I understand.
And he was going to the
He was
rack
going to
yesterday.
the rack yesterday.
Twice on pin down dunks.
Pin
not
down
like
dunks.
not like open. No, these are in traffic.
Bro.
In traffic. I was like, ooh.
Listen.
All right, Gordon. All right, education reform.
Listen, when we signed Gordon Hayward, I was all for it. Because I was like, this is white mamba. This is the real white mamba we getting. These motherfuckers hooping. I know he's about that basketball life. Real deal. He gets injured, and the way you see his game change, you could correlate it right back to that injury.
Yes, 100%.
He gets nervous around the rim.
Yeah.
He gets the Gordon I saw last night, going to the rim with the intention of I'm going to dunk.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lay it in. I'm not going to play it off the backboard. I'm not going to go up and maybe kick it out. I'm going to the rack.
Yeah.
Meet me there. We'll see what happens.
Meet me there. See what happens.
That's the attitude. Gordon comes in with that attitude. We walk through the playoffs.
man.
We walk through the playoffs.
That's
It's
like-
not even close.
If that
close.
if that all lives matter energy is what Gordon needs
Yes.
to go to the rack.
Yes.
Do your
Get
thing,
it.
Chief.
Get it.
Do
I
your
ain't going
thing,
up
my
light
nigga.
skin no more.
Yeah, nigga, like these are for all lives, nigga. You know what I mean? You can call niggas. Go ahead.
For real. Well, he want us to chip because it's a nigga now. That's
Yeah, yo, that's
Hey,
the
it's in the
rules.
contract.
I don't make the rules. yeah,
I don't know, man. Read about it.
yeah.
I don't know, man.
Read the fine print.
Read the fine print.
But yeah, go ahead.
So my sleeper team out the East is definitely the Pacers. My sleeper team out the West, which shouldn't be a sleeper, but it is the Denver Nuggets. Jokic is a new era. He's officially ushering the new era of big men who can hoop. You got my homie Bol, who Danny Ainge. I still hold a grudge against you for not drafting him.
Because we could have Bobo and Taco Fall.
Can you imagine?
Can you imagine?
Can you imagine? And who is going to pay for it?
Who's going to be the hits?
Yo,
But
you're
nah,
right.
the Nuggets, they're
They-
that squad that out west. And nobody's talking about them. They're taking it for granted. You know, they're like the third or the fourth seed out there. We know they got hoopers. They're very well coached. You know, but you know everyone thinks they'll get out the first and get bounced in the second, right? No, my sleeper team out the west is the Denver Nuggets. The only reason they're a sleeper is because I've been disrespectful to them as well. You know, 'cause a lot of teams aren't paying attention to what they're doing, man. And when someone like Jokic comes into that bubble after losing that weight, lets you know what he was about.
Yeah.
You know, to coming down
and-
versus sorry to say Zion, who looked like he maybe put on a pound or two.
Yo,
while on break.
them beignets.
Them beignets, man. You can't live in
Beignets.
New Orleans.
Yeah,
and
bro.
lose
You
weight.
I ain't mad
against
at
the
him, bro.
rules.
I ain't mad at him, bro.
It's
I ain't
against
mad
the
at him.
rules, bro.
If you ever been to New Orleans, you won't be mad at him, bro.
been.
Come on.
Gumbo hitting,
Gumbo,
boy.
boy.
Yeah, boy,
Boy,
that,
hit.
that crawfish boil. You know what I mean? You know what I
What?
mean?
Them biscuits.
Some biscuits and gravy, bro. Some grits.
Stop
Come on,
it.
baby. Come on. I can't be mad at him.
Come on, man. You can legally
I
have a
can't be-
parade every day.
Yo, come on, Chief. A little,
man.
a little second line.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't
They
nothing
grill.
wrong.
They grilling on the back of pickup trucks in the second line, bro. In the parade, bro. It's a sight to see. But yeah, and quiet as kept. Quiet as kept. Yo, and I talked a lot of shit about this kid, boy. Michael Porter Jr., man. I was talking. Somebody.
I remember when you were talking slick about him, I put both my fingers in my ears. I
Listen.
would not partake in any of this.
Listen,
talk.
no, because we waited a year. We waited a long time to see him in action. I'm like, yo, this kid is trash, B.
Mm.
This kid is trash. And when he started talking that wild right wing talk, that like, oh, we gotta pray for the cop stuff, and then he said that thing about vaccines and how COVID is just a hoax and shit.
I mean,
you gotta do the background on him. And
When did he say that? COVID was a hoax.
Like
Yes.
last week.
Yeah, 2
Last
weeks
week or the
ago,
week
my
before,
nigga.
yeah. I mean, I had to go all Laura Ingram on her, but you need to shut up and dribble. Son.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah,
You need to shut up and dribble.
Yeah, like, don't make me do this, dog. Don't make me.
Don't turn me into this guy, bro.
don't make me do
I
this.
don't want to be this guy.
Yo, real talk. Like, you
man.
wildin', yo. You speeding right now. And he heard us talking.
Yeah.
He heard us talking.
The
and he
Nuggets
came
definitely heard
through.
him.
Dog,
Like,
so
yo.
you tell me the Nuggets to me are like the West Coast Celtics to me. In a sense, without the Gordon Hayward effect in the like in a sense of like they got like some older, it's like some vets that are like 30, which is not old, but you know, they got some vets. With
Shout out
Jamal-
to Paul Millsap.
and the thing that sucks is like they're not going to be able to pay all these people.
Absolutely.
Like you got Jokic, you got Jamal Murray, you got Michael Porter Jr. You're bringing up Bol, and the more and more you show how good Bol is, dog, you can only pay so much to these players, and y'all aren't in a big enough market to you'd be comfortable with going over the luxury tax. You know, so
Because, you know, your billionaire owner can't afford it.
yeah, he can't afford it. Shout out to OKC. So with that said, they're not, and I feel like in Paul Millsap and I don't know what his contract is, but I'm sure it's a little bit friendlier because it's not like he got like the max money that niggas was getting like last year.
Yeah.
So I don't think they're gonna be able to hold all those players. but they have they have the best young core in the league
Yeah.
to me outside of the Celtics.
Yeah.
And they have the best young core to me outside of the Celtics, and the only thing that's gonna keep
Yeah,
them.
we're gonna have to take that back. Paul ain't taking no discounts.
What's he
Got
making?
3-year, $90 million.
Oh!
Discount where?
Oh.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
All right, Paul, get them bands, Paul.
So Paul ain't getting. He's about to get traded.
Yeah, he's gonna. Yeah, Paul. You know,
Who's taking this contract?
when did he sign that?
Free agent. Let me see. Paul Millsap signed a 3-year, $90 million contract with the Denver Nuggets, including $90 million guaranteed, and an annual average salary of $30 million per year. Free agent 2020.
He's gonna be a free agent in 2020.
Yeah, so I guess the contract ends this year then?
Oh, then he ain't coming back. He ain't coming back.
I just want to double check it here. Yeah. He signed it in Paul Millsap Nuggets back in 2017. So this is the
Okay.
final year of that contract.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, he ain't coming
Yeah,
back at
boy.
that rate.
He cashed out.
At that rate.
Yeah, at that. You
And
might
shout out to Paul. He deserved it, man.
Yeah, he deserved it.
All old man game.
Yeah,
Straight up, since
100%.
day
And
one.
he's still he killed us this year
Yeah.
when we played the Nuggets.
Yeah.
Murdered us.
Him, Zebo, Al Jefferson, best old man games I've ever seen.
Yeah. Shout out to them. And him getting that new NBA bag. Because to make $30 million
Yeah.
a year,
Yeah.
when Kobe made $25 million a year on his sweetheart deal with the
Mm.
Lakers, like farewell deal with the Lakers, that was the biggest contract, and niggas was killing Kobe for taking that contract.
Yeah.
And that was Kobe Bryant for
Kobe
making
Bryant.
25 a year. You got Paul Millsap making 30.
Don't you ever count my pockets, B.
Yeah.
Don't you ever count my pockets,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
Don't worry about what I'm making. What are you making?
What you making?
What are you
Yeah.
making?
Yeah.
Hating ass.
Yeah. And that's the thing, even with Gordon. I ain't mad at Gordon.
I ain't mad at
I ain't mad at Gordon. Get your money, baby.
Let me be perfectly clear. Even when a thief gets his money, I'm happy for him. You understand? When you secure the bag, you secure the bag. I am not knocking you. But bro, come on.
Come on.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Um,
You're gonna give us a discount for this.
but yeah.
You owe us a discount. 4 years, $22 million. Let's go.
Who's your sleeper? Who's your sleeper, Alec? Who do you think would cause some damage?
Out west, originally, I was kind of on like the New Orleans kind of little bandwagon they had going on with
Gotcha.
Zion and shit. But
Yeah.
obviously, they got eliminated, I'm pretty sure. So
Yeah, last night.
rest in peace.
Because they don't let Zion play the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
If he had played the fourth quarter of that game, they would have won, and they would have still been in the you know.
Yeah.
I feel bad for saying this. I don't like bad mouthing other black men. But what's his name? He's not a good coach. Alvin Gentry
Yeah.
is not a good head coach. I don't feel that he inspires his players to really go out there and ball. I think they love him. They like being coached by him. But there needs to be a certain level of, I don't know if it's fear or a combination of fear and respect, but there needs to be a motivating factor. You know? I don't see Alvin Gentry motivating his players to go out there and ball the way I see, Doc Rivers will do, Rick Carlisle will do, our coach, homeboy,
Brad Stevens.
Brad Stevens will do,
Dad Stevens.
So I don't like saying it because he's a black coach, but it's like they need to make a change. I think they need to make a change for that team to really take to that next level because he has a bunch of young players. It's a very, very young team that you could turn them into whatever you want. So do you really feel that Alvin Gentry is going to lead you to a championship?
I wonder.
I know who I would,
You know what?
know who I would love to see coach New Orleans? Teron Lue. I would love to see Teron Lue in New Orleans with that type of talent, see what he can do.
Yeah,
That's someone
that
I
would
would
be
love
great.
to see out there.
That would be great. 100%. I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
Because it's hard, and I know we don't do that. We don't do that lightly, like trying to like campaigning for the firing of a
course.
black coach.
Of course.
But if we're gonna replace him with another black coach, all right, cool, we even out. But know who I want to look up JJ Redick's contract, right?
He's definitely not a thief. He earned every dollar, yo. Straight up.
Yeah, because I'm just wondering. I wonder if his is a one, did he sign a
2 year,
deal?
$26.5 million contract.
2 year.
So $13.25 million.
Gotcha. So I wasn't. It wasn't really about the money. It was about how long it was, because
2
that
years.
was the thing that would be the indicator for me on how Alvin Gentry is as a coach. Because if JJ Redick has signed a 1 year deal and he walks, I'm firing Alvin Gentry, because to me, JJ Redick, I trust because him deciding to go to New Orleans, JJ Redick could have signed anywhere. And got that money.
Yeah, probably more.
And this is his first year in his career not making the playoffs.
13 seasons.
13 seasons. So if he was to walk, that would be saying going to New Orleans was a mistake. And but if there was a 1 year deal and he had stayed, that means I think that he believes in this team and he believes in the coach. Because I watch how veterans move.
Yeah.
Especially a vet like him,
Yeah.
who's still a really good player, but he should have a championship by now. JJ Redick should have a championship by now. He should have won a championship with the Spurs at some point, or he should have been on the Celtics at some point. He should have, he could have been on the Lakers. He
I was
could
just
have
about
been
to
on
say.
Toronto.
Yeah.
He could have been back with he could have signed back with could you imagine if JJ Redick signed back with the Clippers?
I would love to see it.
So
We gotta worry about him going to Magic City.
Because him leaving Philly, that's all I needed to know about Philly.
Yeah.
Oh, you left Philly, and then Philly gave 4 years a maxed out Al Horford, a 34-year-old Al Horford. You maxed him out.
Again, shout out to Al getting the bag.
Yeah,
baby.
shout out to him
Shout
getting
out
the bag.
bag.
But I want to run. I want to not run. I want to sprint away from any franchise that's doing that type of shit.
Yeah.
Any franchise. And now you're looking at him. Now who's going to be the premier person for you in the playoffs? Al fucking Horford and Tobias Harris. It's sick, man. It's sick. But that's
Shout out to Tobias too, man. He got that bag, and I'm happy for him
he got
too.
the bag, but
damn.
damn.
Like,
but I wouldn't have
again,
gave it
'cause
back to Jimmy Butler neither. So,
Because here's the thing, though.
but
like,
I would have
at-
gave
at-
it to Butler before Harris.
At the end of the day, you just gotta think to yourself: do you visualize this person being a part of your team, bringing a championship in the current circumstances, in the current environment? And then when I see some of these deals get done, I'm just like, how? How do you evaluate this person? You can pay this person that much money. Maybe that's the reason, right? Because I'm always looking at it from a championship point of view. These guys looking at it from a straight business point of view.
Right.
That's
They
it.
just want to put fans in the seats. They
Fans
want to
in
be
the seat, that's it.
competitive. They want to keep
Yeah.
being competitive
Yeah.
and all that other shit. They don't want to win championships. So it's like it's something that like for us it's very hard to translate.
Yeah.
It's hard to understand. I was like, I thought y'all trying to win.
Yeah. Like I really wonder like how many of these GMs sit down and actually watch other teams play. You know? Because like the proof is in the pudding. You watch that Clippers team play, you know there's no way this team's gonna get bounced in the first round. Not to say they're conference finals lock.
Yeah, lock.
You know? You see it, you know, and when you see it and you see what they have, this is the type of coach, these are the type of players, these are the type of assistants, these are the type of medical staff you need to have around these guys. These are the tools you need to win. The blueprint is there. And when you see these guys not just stray away from the blueprint, but do things that are just completely opposite, I mean, it's about the culture.
Yeah.
You know,
The culture.
like say what you want about Miami. That's a winning culture they got down there
yeah.
under Pat Riley. You know,
and Spoelstra, yeah.
and Spoelstra.
Yeah.
You know, Spo, who's another coach I used to disrespect all the time, but I have the utmost respect for him now because, oh, you are a good coach.
Yeah.
Because now I see you when you don't have the Wade, you don't have the LeBron. I see you.
You don't have the Bosch.
You have the Butlers now.
And the smart management of like, oh no, we're keeping Udonis Haslem on payroll.
yeah.
He's gonna be in uniform every
Yeah.
year because we need him.
That leadership,
We need
that
his leadership,
veteran-
and we need him to set the culture of what this team is gonna be. And when I see franchises do, when's the last time you saw Udonis Haslem on the court? But he's on payroll. He's right there in uniform.
Yep.
He's like the bodyguard for the Miami Heat. You know what I mean?
Straight up.
Like, but that's important. And once he's
UD.
done being in uniform, he's going right into a suit.
Yep.
And he's gonna be right on the bench too.
Yep.
Like, you know, like
Again,
that's
culture.
that's culture.
Culture. We like and who did
And the culture of like Celtics, yo, I don't care what we need to do. But Marcus Smart needs to be a Celtic for the rest of his life. I don't care. I don't care what we need to do. We need to sign him to a 10-year deal, and we're gonna give you 10 years. It's gonna be a 10-year, $200 million deal.
Yep.
It's gonna be spread out over 10 years, or a 20-year, $200 million deal, and we're gonna pay you $200 million over the next 20 years. But just to save us cap room so we can make the team better, but you gotta be on the roster. You always have to be on the roster as long as you want to play basketball. You know what I mean? Because that's culture, guys. And he got snubbed. How the fuck did he not come in the top 3 in Defensive Player of the Year?
Because he plays for Boston. The media market out here is trash.
And he's a guard. They disrespect guards.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like they disrespect bigs when it comes to MVP. Anthony Davis should be an MVP candidate, not Defensive Player of the Year candidate. How are you the top? How are you a Defensive Player of the Year lock? Everyone's saying you're the Defensive Player of the Year, but at the same time, you're leading your team in scoring. You're leading your team in rebounding. You know what I mean? No, you're MVP candidate. You know what I mean? But like if you're big, they love putting you in that category versus MVP. If you're a guard, they love putting you in other categories, but not Defensive Player of the Year categories. Like how has Patrick Beverly never been probably top 3 for Defensive Player of the Year? How is Tony Allen only have 1 Defensive Player of the Year? And then you got Kawhi Leonard, I think he has 2. But he should have more, and there should have been other guards that have won.
Drew Holiday or somebody else.
Yeah, Drew Holiday?
Ain't no one signing up to be guard by no Drew Holiday.
Dog, once Drew Holiday's contract
That's someone
is
needs
up,
to see in a Celtics jersey.
we need Drew Holiday. This offseason, we need Drew Holiday and we need JJ Redick. Those are the 2 people that I'm like that I want on our team going into next year. But that's a whole nother conversation. We could talk about who's gonna win.
Hey, that works when we trade Gordon down to New Orleans. You just made the trade right there, Chucky. I'm just making a point for you. We trade Gordon to New Orleans for Drew Holiday and JJ Redick and a bag of basketballs.
Yeah. And some beignets.
Straight up.
True.
Straight up.
So lastly, like, with the NFL season, we're already like an hour and 17 minutes in. Let's try and keep it like whatever. How do y'all feel about the NFL season? Like, do you think it's gonna happen? Do you think that same thing is gonna happen that's happening in MLB is gonna happen in
I think
football?
the exact same thing is going to happen in NFL that's happening in the MLB right now. And I expect it to be worse because you're dealing with players who, of all the athletes, all the professional sports, I believe NFL players have the most compromised immune systems because their body's constantly battling some type of injury to begin with.
Right, injury, infection.
And when you understand, like, going to my nursing bag real quick, right? When your body, let's say a typical football player, they'll have some type of knee or elbow or some joint ailment, right? So throughout the year, they're already getting treatment for this thing. So that means your body's already sort of hyperactive, constantly working to treat your body. And that leaves your body open for other things because your body's so focusing on this knee, they're not focusing necessarily on this disease that's coming into your body. You know, that's a real roundabout oversimplification. But ultimately, I feel that NFL players' immune systems compared to other professional athletes are already compromised in some way, shape, or form. There's no such thing as an NFL player not having some type of off-season surgery unless you're a punter or a kicker. Everyone's having surgery. So that means every year your body's being opened up and all types of things. So I expect the NFL, the season to start, and hopefully it finishes. You know, and you got a lot of older QBs out there who are going to be more susceptible than the younger QBs. Yeah. You know, it's going to be tough. But you got guys literally spitting on each other.
Yes.
You know, gouging at each other, sweating on each other, like laying on you. Right. Like, sweating.
What do you think, Alex?
I'm not sure. I haven't really heard of like players getting tested and stuff like that in the NFL. And like
they're not having a bubble, right?
No.
They're not having a bubble.
No.
And I be seeing Tom on Twitter, on Instagram all the time, throwing the Buccaneers players and shit and doing his thing. So it's like, it doesn't really seem like they're, like the NFL hasn't given any like real, I guess, direction or have given any sort of like precaution on how they're going to like go about restarting the season. So I don't know. It looks really iffy. I think I'm probably with Jeremy. Like it might look worse than like
Yeah.
the MLB, to be honest. Like, and I think the players know that too. Like I've been hearing. I know a lot of Patriots players like opted out of this year and stuff like that.
Key
so-
players too.
Yeah.
Key fucking players.
I think like it was Patrick Chung. and,
Patrick
like,
Chung,
Fucking
Hightower.
Dante Hightower,
Yeah.
Marcus Cannon,
Yeah.
and a few other players. I think those were the 3 premier ones because that's 2 starters and then our backup safety
Yeah.
all opted out, and that's vets.
Yeah.
That's like champ. Those they got rings, multiple.
Yeah.
You know, so for them to opt out says a lot.
Yeah. It makes me nervous. Like,
Yeah, it says a lot. But I think all those things I just named also gives them more reason to opt out. They're vets. I've already got my big payday. I've already got my rings. Why am I risking this?
Yeah.
When I could just opt out and just, I won't get paid, but you know what I mean? Like, I got money. I got, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Patrick Shun's been selling coke, so it's like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? He got bread. I'm good, baby.
Coke boys.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah, like,
He gonna eat regardless.
yeah, he gonna eat regardless. So yeah, like I'm with y'all 100%. I don't see this shit happening. I think it's gonna start. People are gonna start testing positive, and it's gonna get canceled. And then as you go into the more winter months, like I think that they could have got it done. I think that there's enough indoor stadiums that they could have. And granted, I know they can't do it like the NBA bubble.
Yeah.
They can't because there's way more players,
Yeah.
way more staff, all of that shit. But they still could have done it. And they could have done it in these locations. They could have done it in Detroit, Minnesota, Houston,
Dallas.
and then West Coast, the new Raiders Stadium in Las Vegas. Because I'm saying all places with domes. And I'm only saying domes because the East Coast and in the Midwest areas, because we don't want them playing outside. We don't, because as you go into winter, flu season starts, all these things. We got to make sure their temperatures.
People just getting sick in general.
Exactly. We got to make sure they could have got this done in Arizona.
Yeah.
They could have got this done. They had enough time to get this done, and they decided not to do it. And I don't understand, like Roger. I really don't understand Roger Goodell. Like, I really don't. They could have done it in those stadiums. They could have shared the money like they already done. They could not have people in stands, because their plan right now, I think, is to have the stand, have it at like 10% capacity, having the fans
And
very,
that lets
very
you know
spread out.
how much the NFL runs shit, bro.
Yeah, because the thing is, I'm not against that, because I do think you can do it at 10%. Because 10% in a stadium, that's everyone spread out. People can have their own fucking sections.
Yeah.
People won't even be near each other at 10%, just to get a little revenue, just to pay the staff and pay the. But I'm talking about having the players outside, having them in the elements in the wintertime, and when shit gets cold. You could have moved them to warmer climates and really done it, or done it in Detroit and in Minnesota. They have brand new indoor stadiums with facilities, and a place like Detroit that has hotels. You know, the Detroit economy could definitely would definitely welcome the NFL taking over for the whole year. You know what I mean? Detroit, and you know Minnesota needs it because they got big problems on their hands.
Riot puns.
Right. Yeah, always got to sneak those in there. But no, like I'm just, like I thought they could have got it done, and I think they're fumbling right now. No pun intended. Like they're fumbling right now, and the NFL season's not gonna happen the way that it should, and it sucks because I wanted to see Cam, bro. I wanted to see Cam. I wanted to see this. They seem excited. Cam is infectious with them dudes, and like he has such a presence, and I was excited. I'm excited for the season. I wanted to see Cam, but I don't think it's gonna happen, right? So
My final prediction is whatever happens with the MLB is going to happen with the NFL. So I'll reserve my final opinion once the MLB season gets officially canceled.
yeah.
You know? But also too, it's we'll see. We hope for the best. We pray for the best. But we're seeing what works and what doesn't. Take your freaking cues. And you're the NFL. You're already set up in divisions. You can create a bubble for each division. You know, we don't necessarily.
Yeah.
This year could be the year where we don't see interleague play.
The NFC West,
Yeah.
all in Arizona.
Yep.
NFC, you know what I mean?
Yep.
NFC things,
Yep.
or two divisions are all in Arizona.
Exactly.
2 divisions are all in
Yep.
in Las Vegas.
Yep.
2 divisions are you know what I mean? Like,
And
come
once they're
on.
done playing each other once, swap the divisions real quick. Everybody plays each other once.
Right.
You do that 3 or 4 rotations, get your 16 games in or whatever.
Right.
And then you keep it pushing. Or let's be real here.
And they
you
could have
just
cut it down
to 2 states.
Yeah, they-
Everyone's playing in Texas and Cali.
Yeah.
All of our stadiums are going to be there. We're
Yeah.
just playing the NFL to 2 areas, and then that's it.
Yeah.
You know, NFC
Or they
and
could have
Texas,
cut.
whatever.
They could have cut. Granted, I know, so they won't lose as much money because it's like, yeah, they don't wanna cut games because that's less ad revenue. Blah 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 blah. But dog, y'all could have cut the season to let's cut it to 12.
Yeah.
Let's, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? That's still a really good amount of
Good season,
games
yeah,
to you know. And where was the Super Bowl supposed to be this year?
I have no idea about throw it up in the air somewhere in Florida. That's a safe guess. Oh, wasn't this year supposed to be the year they were in Vegas?
Yeah, I think
Was the stadium even going to be finished?
it's finished. I think because that was their last year in Oakland. Last year was the Raiders' last year in Oakland. So I don't know whether they were going to do an interim year at a different place in between, or let me see, 2021 Super Bowl. Where's Raymond Jones Stadium?
I don't know, but that name Raymond Jones sounds like it's a former slave owner. Just saying. Raymond Jones.
Tampa, I think.
Yeah, Tampa.
There you go. I guess right.
Oh shit.
So Tom can fuck around and have a home field Super Bowl. We miss you, Tom. Hope all's well. Lobotomy!
I love you, girl. Well, yeah, that's it for me, man. I think we went over everything.
Cool. Word out.
Anything else, you guys?
I think that was it.
That's it. That's it, man. Well, that's episode 12.
Spend your stimulus money wisely. Don't spend it all in one place.
That new money. Nah, for real. Have they announced anything? Like, for real?
Well,
Or-
my understanding is that Trump signed the executive order that's unconstitutional, of course.
Yes.
But the Democrats aren't going to do anything to stop it because they don't want to see like assholes who are stopping people from getting money.
Right.
And the Republicans, they're just trying to ride this Trump wave out. They don't want to
Right.
do anything.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting people to start getting that extra $400 any day now.
Hey, baby.
Unconstitutional or not. It's like,
I thought- is it-
rules matter in America
it's-
anymore.
Yeah. It's unemployment, or was it? Or was it stimulus?
Oh, this is unemployment benefits. So for people who are getting that extra $600 on their
Now they're gonna get
benefit,
4.
Now they're gonna get 4, and there's no word about another stimulus check though. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, man. Yo, if y'all get that money, enjoy it. Send happy birthday wishes to Jeremy because next week's gonna be
Gang,
Jeremy's birthday. And yo, that's it, man. Thanks for listening. Peace.
Peace.
Possibility.